Hello and welcome! In today's video we are going to have a look at the Corsair Commander Pro. This is a lighting and fan speed controller made by Corsair, and in this video we are going to unbox it. We are going to install it into a PC, and I will also show you the software to control it. So let's dive into the box, shall we? So let's start with a quick look around the box. This is the front side. Here you can see a preview of what the actual box looks like, and also the name. Here it doesn't tell me that much. And here we also have another picture and the size of the controller, and also yeah, just a summary of it in different languages, and yeah, the same picture here. So let's just cut open the tape here. We have at the bottom here, we have a tape on either side. So I'll find my trusty knife. Make a careful cut here. Okay. Now that's done. Let's try to push it out. Okay, so here we can see the Commander Pro. It has some plastic on it, and here we see the cables that are attached to it. And what else do we get in the box? Well, here is I think this is just a guide. Yeah, congratulations, what it contains, and some specifications. Here we can see what amperage we can have on each of the fans. So it says here 1 amp per port. So that means that this one has 6 spots for fans, so each of them can draw up to 1 amp. So you should be aware of that before buying fans, but I think most normal fans are way under 1 amp, so shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, how to handle waste electronic equipment. Okay, not so interesting. This is a quality control, I think. Nice. And here we have the rest of the included cables. Okay. So shall we look at what the included cables are? So I think these are extension cables for the fans. So here we have the part that goes into the Commander Pro itself, or a fan header on your motherboard, or whatever you like. And these are the fan side of it. And I think they are maybe 50 centimeters long, so they should reach even if you have a large case. So it's great that they include these. You don't have to use this, but it's great that you have the option to do it. We also have this cable. I think this is, I don't know what this is. So I have to find out what this cable is. And these are some temperature probes. So you can place these around in your case. You can see the brown part here. You can place this around your case, and you can see in the software what the temperature are like. That's nice. And then the controller itself. We have to see how to take it out. Oh. Ooh, strong tape on this. Okay, there we go. Also see that they include some double-sided 3M tape here, double-coated tissue tape. So now we can mount it wherever we like. And here we have the box itself. So you can see here we have actually 2 USB 2 hubs. So this is the internal connector, and I'm really glad to get this because it uses one of these, so your motherboard must have one of these connectors. And yes, my motherboard has one of these connectors, but the case has USB 2 in the front, so I am really glad that I get 2 extras. Then I can connect this part into my motherboard and the case cable into this port, so I get to use the USB ports in the front. And this is where we put in the temperature probes, 4 of them, and a status LED, I think. We also have 2 LED ports. I can put it on the other way. LED ports here, and we can check these. So if this fits. Okay, great. So this is where you can put in LED light strips or fans with RGB if this really is in there. Okay. If you have a fan that maybe has LEDs or whatever, so you can connect it into this and you can control it through the app. And also the 6 fan slots here. Okay. And these are PWM that you can see from it has the 4 connectors there. But you can also use the regular type, the one with the 3 points here. But you may not be able to control your fans as well. Just take off this twist tie. You can look at the cables here. Yeah, so it's just 2 connected cables. Oops, 2 connected cables. We have the USB cable, you can see USB. And we also have 1 SATA power to power this. So this will give power to all the fans and the LEDs. So yeah, let's just jump into the installation. Okay, so here is our PC. This is the one we want to use as an editing rig. And if you're interested, I will leave the specifications in the description below. So this is the front side of the computer. I want to show you the USB port that we need to connect the Commander Pro to. So if you come into the PC with me, we have a single USB port here. This is the USB 2 port. This on the side here is USB 3, but we don't need a bandwidth for this. So this is the one we are going to disconnect. This is for the ports on the case itself. And now we just need to find the Commander Pro and connect into this USB port. So now I fished through the USB cable here. As you can see, there is 1 slot that is not punched out here. And we need to line this up to, it's very hard for you to see, I can imagine, but on this, yeah, we just have to line it up. So I will just do that now, and then we are finished on this side of the computer. And I'm sorry, this must be very difficult to see, but there we go. So now it's connected. And now we will go to the other side. So here we have the back side of the computer, and don't mind this cable mess. This is from all the hard drives, so we don't need to worry about that now. But here I have the Commander Pro, and the cable you see here is the USB cable we just connected, and this is for the front panel connections on the case that we have here. So since it's so conveniently placed there, we just connect this first, and this is maybe easier to show here that the same thing that we did in the front. As you can see, the one piece there, the one hole there, that's not punched out. And we can also see that here maybe that it's missing 1 pin. So yeah, we just line that up, and then it doesn't matter which one we take. So I just take the one, okay, this way, like that. Okay, so I also have 3 fans that I want to connect for now. These 2 cables are for the 2 that are installed in the front, and this is the one that's installed here in the back. And since I'm only using 3 of the 6 available here, I like to sort them somewhat. So since there are 2 in the front and 1 in the back, I will leave some space open. So I take fan number 1 and 2 for the front, and number 3 I will not connect in number 3, so I will connect that in place number 4, for example. So that I do this for when I go into the software, I can control the speeds differently. So maybe I want the fans in the front to spin faster than the one in the back, so then I can set, oh, these go to 1000 and these to 800, so yeah. I also want to connect the temperature probes or temperature sensors here, and I like to make a note about which one I connect to what and where it goes. So I take one at a time and I connect it into temp 1. They're just 2 pins. And only one way to put it in, because it has these slots on the plug here. So really easy, just like that. And I can place this somewhere. As you can see, I have a tape on the back side of the back plate here. The CPU is on the other side of this. And I like to put one of these sensors behind this, just to monitor if it gets really hot back there, something is wrong, and then I can check what it is. Maybe the cooler isn't completely on or whatever. I can do some troubleshooting. And then I just do the same thing for the other 3 cables. I note it on my phone, or I post it or anything, so I remember which one is put where, so I can give it a name in the software. So yeah, I'll do the rest later. We also need a SATA power. I have one here conveniently placed, one slot left here, and we take the one from the Commander Pro, just untangle it a bit. Yeah, as SATA power is, there's only one way to connect it. You see this tab that goes, it has this L shape. Maybe not so easy to see, but yeah, it's the other way around here. So we just plug it in, and there we go. Now that we have our fans and our USB and one temperature sensor for now connected, I want to fasten this somewhere. And I thought maybe we can use one of these. This is a hard drive or SSD slot that's included in my case, which we can take off. But I want to use the double-sided tape to fasten the back side of this to this piece, so I can take it off. I could just leave it loose in the cabinet if I wanted to, but I want to make it secure. So I'll start to peel off the nice protective film here. And I think I'll start by putting it on this side. So I just press it against it, make sure it gets good contact. Then peel off the other side. Oh. And yeah, just for good measure, we would use the other tape as well. Put this over here maybe. Yeah, because it's quite long, so I think it will be good either way. Just press it against. Okay, like that. And then I will need to make sure that we don't interfere with this thumb screw over here, so that we are able to take it on and off. So since we can see, we don't interfere with the thumb screw now, and we just press it against like this. All the tape is covered. Yeah, just press it against for some seconds. Now it should be, yeah, that's not going anywhere. And then we just need to line up the tabs here in the cabinet and fasten the screw. Like that. Then we can do some cable managing, just to be... I think my temperature sensor here fell off when I was trying to mount it, but it doesn't matter. You can just, yeah, like this, and then we can fasten it one more time. I think I should switch out this tape. It doesn't fasten so well. Okay. Yeah, and then just, oh, shoot. So now that we have finished installing the Commander Pro, I just want to do some final cable management and also connecting the remaining temperature sensors, and I will see you when we get to installing the iCue software. So now that I have found my way to the Corsair iCue website, we can see here that we can check out the website if you want to, but I just want to download iCue, and that you can do down in the right corner here. Just press the iCue 4 and it will start to download. And now that it has finished downloading, I just open the installer file. I can just minimize the website while we do this. Okay, so here we have the installer. I'll just go quickly through this. Yes, I want English. Such fancy animations. So here we can choose where we want our file to be installed, and if you want the shortcuts, and if you want to start it after installation. I just like to leave this for what it says now. Yes, I consent, and I don't want spam emails, so I don't want to consent to that. Okay, then we just wait for it to install. We can see the percentage here. And suddenly all my fans went to full speed, I think. Okay, now they're down again. Huh. Maybe it was a test or something. But yeah, installation successful. Okay, so I think the app is ready now. We can see that we got a notification here to connection Commander Pro. It says that we have a thermal probe attached to port 1. Yeah, I tried to set up Hydro X series custom cooling. No, I'm not, but if you did, then you can probably control the pumps and the different things that you can get to the Hydro X custom cooling, but I don't have that, so I just close this. And I also don't want the voice mode, so I'll just close this also, so that we get a clearer image. So I have different Corsair peripherals and stuff connected to this computer. We can see my mouse and its receiver, the keyboard I'm using. I also have Corsair RAM, and of course the Commander Pro. So yeah, this is the home. We can see we can switch between different profiles if you want to set that up. For example, if you can set up a profile for hot days or cold days, or different colors for the morning and the evening, whatever. You can do whatever you like with the profiles, then you can switch between them here or with your peripherals. I can switch between modes on the keyboard and my mouse. I also can switch between the different profiles. So yeah, I'll just close this again. You can have scenes. These are the color scenes, so it has some predefined color effects for all your RGB things, if you care about that. And also on the bottom here we can see some sensors. But we can change this, of course, and also see a lot more of them, but we will do that later. We will start with the Commander Pro. So we can see when I hover my mouse over the Commander Pro, we can see we can quickly go to the different settings for it. But if we just want to go to the main settings page for it, we will just click on the image. Okay, so here we can set up the different light channels. These are for the LED plugs here. So here we get the option to connect a lot of things, all their different RGB fans. And we also have external RGB LED strips and fans and accent triangles. Okay. I don't have any of these connected to this computer, but I'll just open a fan, for example, so we can see. And this is an example if I have all fan ports connected with these types of RGB fans. We can set how many of them we have. Now I have told the Commander Pro I have these fans installed, even though I have not. And then we can go to lighting channel 1. And then we can see here a demonstration of how the LED will light up. So this is just a rainbow wave, but we can have, yeah, we have all the different types of presets here. Yeah, you can customize everything. You can even choose which fan should have what kind of colors and the speed and what colors it should be like, and you can also have different layers. Yeah, if you have different layers, then it will switch between them, so then you can make some crazy lighting setups here if you want to. But I'll just take it off. I don't have any of it, but yeah, you get the point. You can customize and do all things with it. The next point here is cooling. So here we can see the 3 fans I have connected. They are all set to the quiet profile now. And we also have the temperature sensors that I've connected. So we have, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can also see the voltage that it reads from the SATA plug. But I don't know how reliable these are, because if you see the 3.3 volts, it reads 0.16 volts. I don't think that is correct. But yeah, it could be something wrong with the SATA power, or the app could be wrong here, but I choose to ignore that now. We can have cooling presets here as well as on the lightings. If I click extreme here, it won't change any of the profiles. This will only show what of the presets that are here, and we can also choose between them. So I can choose balance, quiet and extreme if I want to. And extreme will put it to maximum speed. You can see here, my balanced will keep it also quite high. Interesting. Yeah, here we can see the logging and what speed it has and everything. I'll just put this back to quiet. It got quite loud. Okay, so we can create a new preset. So if we then click custom 1, we can change a curve. We can put it to whatever percentage we want. But this goes up to 5000 RPM. I don't think my fan goes that far. But luckily we can type in what speed we want. So I want to start at 500 RPM. And the next point should be 800 and so forth. It doesn't matter right now. And we can also choose what sensor it should read from. So now it shows my CPU, package 1 temperature. We can also set it to the RAM or the temperature probes from the Commander Pro, or our GPU, in this case low powered one, but if I care what the CPU temperature is, I could set that as the base this curve on, and we can see the yellow line here is connected to this temperature. So if I say that if it's on 30 degrees, it should be at this speed, but if, yeah, you can see how the curve goes. We can also set fixed RPM so that no matter what, it takes all the fans at 1000 RPM, for example. Then if I choose the fans to use the custom one profile, they should all speed up to 1000 RPM. Yes, or around there somewhere. But we can also choose fixed RPM. So this will choose a percentage of the fan from the minimum to the maximum value that it can provide. At 40%, we can see that they are not exactly the same, but if we put it to 60%, what will happen then? You can see that one of the fans is slightly higher. I think that's because it has less resistance than the other ones. These try to push through a filter and through some hard drives, while this is more freestanding. So yeah, I'll just put this to the fixed RPM. Okay, alerts. Here we can set up some different alerts according to what the temperature says it is. We can only choose the sensors from the temperature sensors that we connected. So these are the different temperature sensors we connected. And depending on where you put this, maybe you put this number 1 on top of your CPU cooler, for example. And you see that the temperature there gets really hot. Then you can say if a temperature value is, we can activate this one. If it goes to 60 degrees Celsius here, it will set all the fans to 100%. And we can also set it to trigger all RGB LEDs. That's great if you can look into your computer and you have LEDs connected. It will change all the colors if it gets too hot. So you know that you have to cool it down some more, or maybe stop what you're doing. You can also make it run a file. This is quite cool because, well, you can create your own file to make it shut down the computer or open a web page or whatever. You can also set it to shut down a PC if it gets too hot. So that's quite cool to have these options. And yeah, here we can say check for updates. We can choose the overall brightness of all the LEDs connected to this. And we can also set what kind of fan we have connected. But I'll just leave this at auto. But you can set them to 3-pin if you know that the fan you're connected into it is 3-pin. I will go to the dashboard now to show you. Just skip the tutorial because I'm showing you now. So when I started this app, we can see that I have these 3 showing. This is my RAM, this is my CPU, and this is my motherboard sensors. But we are missing the Commander Pro, so we have to click on this, the 3 dots here and the plus sign. Here we can customize the dashboard. So we can see that the Commander Pro is deactivated, so we just activate it. And we can also activate other things like the GPU and battery status of my mouse, and yeah, but I'll just stick to the Commander Pro for now. And our GPU, of course. So here on the right side we can see all the sensors from the Commander Pro. So it puts it at a random order, I can see, but we can rearrange it by clicking and holding on either of the squares here. We can't put this out into another one, but we can put it individually over there so that we can see it is enlarged, but we can put it back and we can sort it 1, 2, 4, and temperature sensors 1, 2, 3, 4, and also voltages, same as we saw earlier. We can also remove it by clicking remove sensors if we don't want to see it in our dashboard. But if you remove one of them, you can find them again back in this menu, and we can see that they are disabled here. So you just click on them again, and now they're back. So that's everything you need to know about the Corsair iCue app just to start at least. It has a lot of features and you can really do something crazy with your lighting if you want that. So yeah, back to the studio. So now we know how to install and set up the Corsair Commander Pro. I think that this product is amazing. I've used it for many years now in all of my computers. This is the latest edition. And like, it's so easy to install, and all the sensors are so great to have, and also the control of the fans and everything. I earlier had some software problems with the iCue app. It was maybe a bit unreliable and didn't save all the settings I set and so forth, but in the later years I haven't had any problems with them at all. And also the new version now, the iCue 4, it looks better. I think it's great. It's also nice to install the lighting node. I think I use that in one of the computers, so I get full control of the RGB fans and also the RGB LED strips. That's so cool. I can individually address whatever I like. So I think this is a really good product. If you have any questions about this product, don't be afraid to leave a comment below. I will try to answer them as good as I can. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. It really helps us out a lot. And you should also consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming videos. So yeah, see you in the next video. Have a good one!